Yeah, and so the amp... Oh, excuse me. Dunkin' Donuts fuels every Charlie Barker.
All right, so many years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Anthony Hernandez at Guitar Center, Greensboro, North Carolina. That was the beginning of our friendship, and I gotta say, I would not have a studio.
Don't go that far.
Without this man. That's kind of the early ethos of Marla and what you believe in.
Yes.
As a company and as a person, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I believe everybody should have access to the sound quality and the gear that they want, and not have to resort to a used market or secondhand, or selling a kidney to get it. I
probably did sell some organs, but the coolest part was I met Anthony at Guitar Center, and I was a budding young guitar player. I mean, this must have been, is it 15 years ago now?
2008 or 9, I think.
Is it that early?
Yeah.
Wow, yes. I would come to Anthony and I'd say, hey man, I'm interested in this piece of gear. And I'd get this like quote back and I'd be like, how'd you do that? Recently, how long now?
Beginning of last year.
Beginning of 24.
Yeah. It was probably 2 years ago when I texted you. I was like, hey, can you check out this amp and let me know your thoughts? And you beta tested the 10 watt for me.
Yeah.
And you sent me this text message video of you playing it and voicing your opinion about the sound quality that was coming out of it and the kind of value proposition against other things in the marketplace. And you voiced your opinions about it sounding better than things up to $1,500 that you have played.
Absolutely,
and
yeah. That
was a huge part of me deciding, okay, 3 months later, let's launch this company. Let's put this out there. Let's make sure everybody can have that $1,500 sound quality at something sub $1,000.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why I love your company and love what you're doing so much is that, I have been a gigging musician for like a long time. And the reality is, gigs still pay $75 or $100, when you're playing around. And that's like a gig. That's not even like, oh, I'm going to play original music and maybe people will show up and I like lost money, So it's like, it's so cool because I feel like you're able to put a high quality piece of gear, hand wired, made in America, like all these things that are just incredibly high quality components and sounds great, into the hands of people who are actually going to use them out and about and play them. And I think that's just awesome. And you've done great in doing that feat. All right, so let's get to the point.
Yes.
Anthony is launching this wonderful new amp. And he asked me about it a couple months ago. And I was like, gonna try it out. And then a gig popped up. I guess it was in August, maybe. Yeah. The gig popped up, and I was like, "Hey, man, I've got this gig. Can I borrow the amp and try it?" and you dropped it off.
Yeah.
And I played through it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna use channel 2, and I'm gonna use my pedal board, pedal board platform." And I roll up to the gig. I plug in channel 1. I'm like, "Dang, that sounds good. Let's go." clips are all with this new amp,
Yeah.
and it's easy. You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool. There's no fuss.
Yes. And I just gotta say, I think it's so strange that you were like, yeah, just bring it over. I'm about to play with this award-winning bassist who's like really well known.
Yeah, dude has like 2 Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw it on stage. I'll just use it for the night. And I was like, wait, no, this is a beta test. Like, it might blow up. It might just, completely catch on fire.
That was the funny thing is he was like, bring it back up. I didn't need it. It was perfect all night long. It worked great. It's hard to make it sound bad.
Yeah, I consider that the Disney World effect. And maybe I'm soured because my grandfather worked at Disney World and I got to go for free all the time. And I hate Disney World. But you go to Disney World, you have all these options. You walk around for 14 hours just to find out that, like, cool, Space Mountain was my favorite thing last year. It's still my favorite thing this year. Why did I go check out everything else? I could have ridden this, like, 30, 40 times if I just stayed here. Like, you can have all these knobs and turn them all just to put them right back to everything either wide open or at noon, and that's the sound you kind of want to go with.
It's so true.
Minimal tweaking, So, Disney World effect.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me because also, like, the other thing is, like, if you think about it, okay, we have this fancy 3-band EQ, right? And you show up to the gig and it's like, I mean, most of the time I'm like, wow, there's just too much bass, turn it down. Wow, there's just too much bass, turn it down. Well, and it's like, oh, how much of the highs do I need? Okay. And if the amp is voiced right, you've got plenty of mids, and it's like, okay. And then you kind of just adjust, like, all right, am I cutting enough with the highs? It's like,
yeah,
you don't need all this, like, crazy extra stuff. I mean, I like it sometimes.
So with the layout of the amp, you really have channel 1, which is super bassy. It's something that is biased a little bit hotter. I think a lot of people enjoy hearing more of that hair when you have so much kind of low pass. That extra bias helps boost up a lot of the mids. It makes the high end a little bit more sparkly. Channel 2, a little bit more narrow, a little more focused. It has a dedicated tone pot, so you can really dial in that top end. One thing I noticed when people were playing the S20V was that they were primarily just using channel 2. It was more mid-heavy. You had some extra tonal controls. So one thing I wanted to do for guitar players was I wanted to give them that same experience in channel 1. So I added a boost to it, and that's this little dip switch up top. So you can boost your mids, boost your highs right there. It will cut harder. It will get more kind of growly, but you'll get more mid-range out of it. And then I also added this dip switch, which is a bright switch for channel 1. So you have more mid-range, you have more brights. Since I'm in there doing that for channel 1, why not take that channel that a lot of people love and give them that same functionality with a boost switch for channel 2. And that's really your tonal controls for the front panel. You'll notice inputs 1 and 2 both have low and high sensitivity. If you're using a lot of gain stacking with the amplifier, feel free to use either channel low inputs. If you're going in with only 1 or 2, maybe like an always on and a boost, or a boost and a drive, or a drive and a fuzz, feel free, use channel 1. It's got plenty of headroom. This amp is really made to take that investment that you made into your pedal board and crafting this like signature platform to shape your sound. This is made to elevate that and to elevate your guitar, not to pull away from it. You'll notice they come together in a really harmonious way and create your signature sound. It doesn't take away from it. If anything, it helps elevate it. And that's really all the front panel controls. Nice and simplistic. Move on to just shredding or plucking, whatever brings you joy. Don't have to worry about a bunch of tweaking. With this amp, you have a 3-band EQ. You don't notice it, but on all these, channel 1's going to have more bass. Channel 2 is going to be more mid-range heavy, and then you have a tone pot. So you jump the 2 channels. This not only is your volume for channel 1, but it's your low-end control. This is your mid-range control. This is your top-end control.
Nice.
So as they're jumped, you have this, like, 2 channels. You can have one be your clean, full body, one be your mid-range cut, jump them together, and you have this like beautiful kind of like big and like all-encompassing channel that you can use as like a really kind of nice 3-band signature sound.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
The neat thing is, I didn't even realize that. I plugged in and it sounded great.
Yeah.
I just plugged into channel 1 and was like, that'll do it,
Yeah, and I think channel 1 has this like, I don't know, like lesser known secret behind it. I don't know how much you want to get into the amp, like right off the bat, but like channel 1 is based off of one of my favorite amps in the market. Actually, there's nothing currently in the market like it, but the old Marshall Plexi Super Bass had these giant coupling caps. So you got the full spectrum of sound that your guitar was trying to translate through an amplifier.
Wow. Yeah.
And that low end usually gets rolled off, and when you roll that low end off, it gets really kind of squared off in the way that it breaks up. Which is a little bit more modern, but I really like that spongy, really open feel, and that's why I think probably when you got to the gig and you got to hear low end kind of like open up in that giant space, you're like, holy cow, I'm gonna stick with this. Even though we plugged into this guy for a couple minutes here before you took it out.
I like both of them for sure.
Good. And like and so that full spectrum of sound that's in channel 1 is like one thing that I knew I wanted on this amplifier. I haven't really deliver it yet on anything else. I wanted to make sure it was able to come to life with this amp, especially with the 6L6 tubes.
Yeah.
That can support it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where did the name come from?
The Charlie Barker name?
Yeah, I love it.
There's what is Charlie Barker is this kind of celebrity dog, passed away recently, from Chicago. The dog was in my buddy's wedding.
No way.
Yeah, like the dog knew everybody, super sweet, like spent all day outside sunbathing and like running up to people, saying hello that walked by his fence. Just a really good companion, you know? So not only does that like great companion translate to what I want this amp to be for consumers, but it's just, if you're gonna lift up somebody, make sure it's somebody that's a complete sweetheart, and Charlie Barker was.
Oh, that's awesome.
To have Charlie Barker right beside Marla, it's nice to see both names.
Yes, absolutely. And if you guys are unaware, you know, if this is your first time hearing about Marla amps, Marla's based on Anthony's dog.
Yeah, my late dog, best friend of 12 years.
Oh.
So go out, adopt, don't shop, Bob Barker. R.I.P. The price is wrong.
The price is right.
The price is right. Yes,
Yeah.
The price is right.
Yeah, so very dog themed. And you also, is it true that every chassis
Yes.
is named after a dog that's up for adoption? Is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah, so every head, combo, and even cabs get the name of a dog that's in our local shelters. I am waiting for the day. It's only happened once. I'm waiting for the day again to where we run out of amps to name because all the dogs are adopted, and it's a great world.
Nice.
So, but yeah, everything gets a name because, you know, you spend 8 hours, 10 hours with these amps, and they're more than just a serial number to me. They deserve something more humanized and personal.
Yeah.
So yeah. And my favorite thing that customers do sometimes, when as soon as they order, they'll call me and be like, "Hey, will you name mine after my late dog or my current dog?" And
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then you hear people have this like internal struggle of like, I've got like 2 or 3 dogs. Which one do I name it after? And the option is get 2 or 3 amps, or I'll just write all 3 on there. It doesn't matter. This is also a bigger version of my S20V.
Okay.
So Reverb has done a bunch for the S20V, kind of behind the scenes. But you look at like, they did a video, I think it's titled USA Fenders at a Squire Price.
Nice.
And they chose to use the Marla S20V to like lift up all those single coil pickups and make them sound beefy and beautiful and really help them shine. And then you'll see like the aerial posing video that they did. You'll see this like little purple light in the background, and then this brown cabinet around it. That's the S20V2, and they needed an amp to keep up with his like massive like Leslie rig. And some of his like thicker like P90 octave tones. And they used the S20V for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so I wanted to carry that same concept of giving essentially, definitely Strat players like all this like rich depth to single coils that I think a lot of amps lose, especially things that were kind of that were brought to market in 1965. They're a little bit thinner sounding, so I really wanted to make an amp that elevated a single coil and really gave it a full body. And for Les Paul players or humbucker players with the S20V, it gave them an amount of like crunchy overdrive that a lot of amps just go straight to like distortion. It lives in like a in a territory that allows you to incorporate your own personal overdrives on your pedal board. I really wanted to carry that concept, make it bigger, give people more, and put it into something 40 watts with 6L6s. So people who have like a Les Paul humbuckers, they can have that same additive like depth and openness that Strat players had on the 20 watt. They can have that now with the Charlie Barker.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it, mostly because I primarily play humbucker pickups and P90s,
me
mini
too.
buckers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a humbucker guy, so I can relate. Yeah, totally.
But that was the idea, to like evolution of the 20 watt into something bigger, more powerful, but also still, this is one thing that's big to you, but like I can pick it up and carry it and not like have shoulder problems while I'm trying to play my guitar
Yeah,
at the gig all night.
They're so light compared to a lot of amps.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a specific design that you've aimed for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's meaningful to me because, yeah, I mean, I love the sound of really big amps, 100-watt amps. It's cool. It's awesome. But, man, they do not go out as much anymore.
No.
You know? They just live here, which is cool.
Yeah, recording only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like, man, I'm going to tote this huge thing.
Yeah, and that's one thing I went for with the cab design, too, trying to, like, please everybody. I worked backwards on a 212 cab. I looked at FedEx and UPS shipping guidelines, made sure it's not oversized. I said, what's the biggest thing I can make to fit in these guidelines and to fit in like their weight parameters?
Totally.
And then I said, what's the most stable thing that I can make that sounds huge, but also doesn't get like muddy and too loose on low end?
Right.
So, yeah, center port going, or center baffle, separating the top and the bottom, gives you a lot of like forward push and a lot of like punchy low end. And then the handles are actually the openings for each.
Cool.
So it's not closed back or open back. It's like a semi. It sounds a lot like a semi open back. So it's once again carrying on the legacy that that sound quality of like being able to fill a room but still be focused from the combos that I have.
Totally.
I wanted to carry that over. So after going through a few designs, I landed on this, and yeah, it's cool. It's ergonomical to carry. Is that the right word? Ergonomical?
That is,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
The way they're offset, it makes it easier to carry and hold closer to the top of your chest.
How much does the cab weigh?
The Charlie Barker is the heaviest one because of the Greyhound that's in it.
Oh.
But this thing, I think, is around like 40, 44, somewhere around there.
Still reasonable, yeah.
Yeah. And usually when I carry these things, I'll just grab it by one handle, throw it over my shoulder.
Oh, nice.
And then grab this guy. So, yeah, sorry that rant about cab design.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Well.
And then, sorry, while we're talking about it, the Charlie Barker does have blended speakers. So you have something that's kind of like the Greyhound, which is, to my ears, like a G12 T75, that Celestion, almost mixed with like an Eminence.
Cool.
Down there for like a really kind of like well-balanced full spectrum. Then up top you have a Mojotone Anthem for more of that mid-range breakup that you expect out of something that's kind of based around like a 1940s, 50s RCA schematics.
Wow.
I wanted to give people extra harmonic content and not the same speaker twice, so they can either choose the flavor that meets them best or mix them and blend them, and just have like a bigger wall of sound and a bigger wall of harmonic content coming out of the cab.
How do people grab a Charlie Barker?
They are exclusively on Reverb. You can find them in a head version for $13.29, a combo version for $14.99. The cab is $7.99, and then I do a cost savings of the two together for $19.99.
Awesome.
Yeah.